Good evening, sir.
Hello, good afternoon from here. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
yes. Yes, sir. Sir, we
Okay.
need to wait for 5 minutes.
Yes, we do. We do.
Yes.
So please do your introduction. I'll be waiting and I will start immediately. It is 6 p.m. by your time.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
A very welcome everyone and also our beloved instructor Wildcat. Today we will be commencing with the 6th day of Intro to Ethical Hacking course. Previous 5 days have been a great experience for you as well as for us, and we will be continuing this march till we didn't succeed. So grab your keyboards and mouse guys, and with not much delay, let's begin with today's session.
All right. Hello, everybody. Um, we're back today on it's the sixth day of our introduction. Yesterday we discussed quite a lot, and today, like I introduced to you yesterday, we are going to be focusing on tools ethical hackers use for their exercises, for their activities. Well, the reason you actually need a a good knowledge in programming, like we discussed yesterday, is so you'll be able to write your own scripts. But then there are some inevitable tools you have to use because they are large and they are perfect. Because over the years they have developed those tools and tried to modify them, to perform what it is made to do efficiently. So today I will be exposing to you those tools which are common among hackers, which are popular among hackers. So you stay tuned for that. So what I'm going to do right now is I will list them out and explain them uh, serially. So first we have Nmap. Nmap basically is a network scanner. It's to scan your network. I will show you that here. This is Nmap. Okay. This is the manual. Let's see what Nmap has to give. Okay, this is Nmap. It is a network exploration tool and security stroke port scanner. You understand? So, and those of you who have Kali Linux installed, please you have to refer to this and read up the description. Uh, Nmap is an open source tool for network exploration and security auditing. It was designed by rapidly it was designed to rapidly scan large networks, although it works fine against single hosts. Nmap uses raw IP packets in novel ways to determine what hosts are available on the network, what services uh, those hosts are offering. So I will show you something. So please pardon me. For instance, I want
Excuse me,
to.
sir.
Okay.
You're not presenting the screen.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry for that again. I actually forgot. Okay. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please pardon me. I am sorry I was not sharing. Now I will go back. So yes, this is it. I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The very first thing I mentioned was Nmap, and like I said, sorry for the distraction. Like I said, it is a network exploration tool. So I will show you Nmap in my machine right now. So this is it. This is Nmap. You just type it because this is a command line interface. So what you do is you type, and then it interacts with you with text. So I have to go into the manual for Nmap, and as you can see, this is a network exploration tool and security. It's also a port scanner. So Nmap is an open source tool for network exploration and security auditing. It was designed to rapidly scan large networks, although it works fine against single hosts. You know, Nmap uses raw IP packets in novel ways to determine what hosts are available on the network. So in the paid section, I will have to explain to you what it means by this. Uh, that Nmap uses raw IP packets in novel ways, and that is connected to the reason why Nmap is a very, very noisy scanner. And when you use it to scan probably Instagram, I think that should be our example. When you use Nmap to scan Instagram, Instagram is aware that someone is scanning us and probably using Nmap to scan us. So, without wasting much time, let me take this here. Okay, hold on. Yeah. All right. So we have this. Let me put this. Okay. So yeah. For instance, I want to scan Instagram. It is actually not proper if I type nmap instagram.com. Instead, what I do is I look for the IP address via the ping something, the ping command, and I go on Instagram.com, and what it does for me is it actually brings out the IP address for me. So we have the IP address of Instagram. I have to stop this. This is the IP address of Instagram. So what I do is I copy it, and then I go on to Nmap, and I have there are different options. This is to select the versions. The SV is to select versions for the type of scan I want to do. So, but I think I'll just go for something simple so we can move on to the next. I just paste that, and then it scans Instagram. Nmap scans Instagram and brings some information that are useful to us as regards the description we saw. Nmap is used to scan for ports. Port is a port scanner. So what we have here is these are the ports that are opened on Instagram. I hope you can see this. So that is what Nmap does. Nmap is for your mapping your network, and it is actually more advanced than this. But what I have to do right now is just go through the basics and a little bit of the advanced, and then in the paid section, we will really dive and use these tools in a very advanced way. So moving on to the next, we have Wireshark. I think I have to. Okay, and please pardon me. Let me just type all of this. We have aircraft NG. Also, we have Bob Suite. I think I mentioned that yesterday. We have John the Ripper. Also, we have SQL map, like I mentioned yesterday. We have Nikto. That is a very amazing tool. We have Mortego. I have mentioned this once during information gathering. We have Ethercap. I haven't mentioned this at all. It's not my favorite tool anyway. We have social. Oh, geez, what did I do? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Pardon me. On the Reaper. 7. How come did I do this? Let's create it's neutral. We have 9 not ago. We have 10. This Eta cap. We have the social engineering toolkit. This is actually a very large stuff, and it is quite interesting. It is for your social engineering stuff, your phishing and all that. I think I will show you that. Kali Linux is a default tool, comes with the Kali Linux installed. So we have the browser exploitation framework. This is actually written this way. 13. Have Nessus. Nessus is for your vulnerability analysis. It is actually very interesting, and it's a GUI. So we have Hydra. This is a command line something. Have Kismet. 16. Okay. Have Open Verse. And which other one do we have? We have quite a lot, but I think I will stop at 17. Which is one that is very useful to you is Hashcat. Hashcat is quite useful to you, and also you need to know that the MAC changer. I know you know what your MAC address is, so we have a tool called a MAC changer to change the MAC address for your system. So these are among others. I think did I add Netcat? Netcat, yeah. So yeah, these are the tools that are popular among hackers. There are more than these actually. There are thousands and so many tools. These are the popular ones. So what next is we just explained Nmap. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know so I can move on to the next, which is Wireshark, please.
We can move on next, sir.
Okay, so Wireshark is basically a a packet sniffer. Let me go on to this Wireshark. Okay, as you can see, it interactively dump and analyzes network traffic. So, for instance, you have a network, you have communication over a network, and you want to analyze the packets that are being sent from one side of the network to another side of the network, probably from the client side to the server side. And Wireshark is the tool for you to analyze those packets, capture them, and analyze them offline. Yes, that is the word. You have to analyze them offline because it's going to take a lot of time, and you actually need to do a little bit of some calculations and all that. So it says Wireshark is a graphic user interface. I'm reading from here. It's a graphic user interface network protocol analyzer. It lets you interactively browse packet data from a live network. Please note this, from a live network or from a previously saved captured file. You understand? That tells you you can actually browse packets offline or online in a live network. Now it says Wireshark's native captured file format is this PCA PNG format, you understand, or PCAP, you understand, that's PCAP, which is also the format used by TCP dump and other various tools. TCP dump itself is a very interesting tool. I think you know what TCP is. Let me just go online and show you what this is. So we have TCP dump. Let me show you what that is. Very well, as you can see, TCP dump is a data network packet analyzer computer program that runs under a command line interface. It allows the user to display TCP or IP and other packets being transmitted or received over a network to which the computer is attached. You understand? It is a similar tool to Wireshark, but most times Wireshark is preferred because you are able to get this graphic user interface, unlike TCP dump that is actually uh, like it was stated here. That is actually a command line interface. Wireshark is a graphic user interface. You understand? You see pictures instead of command lines. So let me see if I can open that here to show you something. Okay. So Wireshark. As time goes on, you will learn to discover, or you discover that these are very, very important tools, and they might not seem interesting to you now until you need them, and you discover that these are the only tools you can use for whatever you want to use. So this is the graphic user interface for Wireshark. Um, in the paid sessions, we will use this. So please pardon me. I just want to show them to you so you know what we are dealing with. So please look at this. This is it for Wireshark. Have the Bluetooth monitor. We have debug system and all that. It's zero and all that. So let's cancel this and kindly move on to the next. So the next thing we have is Metasploit. So Metasploit is a very, very, very interesting tool. It is a very innovative, it's actually an inevitable tool because there is no tool that is as functional as it. Metasploit is actually okay. I think I will have to open that here. Metasploit. Okay, currently there is no manual for Metasploit, but then Metasploit is a framework that lets you do a lot, including hacking of Android systems, servers, and all that. So, what you need to do to open Metasploit is you go to the console and you open Metasploit framework console, and then you get your command line interface for interaction. So I have opened mine and it's loading. And while it's loading, I think I have to read on the. You see, as you can see here, starting Metasploit framework console. So I have to open up. So this is your Metasploit CLI, a command line interface. I am not sure if there is a GUI for Metasploit. So let me go on to this and get help. Please, I hope you can all see my screen.
Yes, sir, we can see the screen.
Okay. So, sorry about the noise, please. So, this is Metasploit, and you have the different commands and the description of those commands. Those of you who have Kali Linux installed, please, you have to look at this. Metasploit is usually very interesting, and it has so many modules from module commands. Please look at this. So please, pardon me. Let me show you what I mean over here. Okay, let me go up so you see how many modules and payloads and yeah, you have it here. So you have exploits. We have 22,131 exploits. We have auxiliary. I will explain to you what all this means. Um, you see it there. We have post. That's in post exploitation. After exploitation, the backdoors you create and all that, they are all within Metasploit framework. And you have payloads, 592 payloads. That's what I have in my machine right now. Those of you who have the updated or upgraded version, you might have more payloads. You understand? We have 45 encoders. I will explain to you what encoders means. We have 10 NOPS and 8 evasion. Evasion from IDS, honeypots, and firewalls, things like that. So that is what you have with Metasploit. It is actually a very interesting tool. So pardon me, let me show you something. Now, for instance, I want to hack an Android phone. What I use is the Metasploit framework, and that is what you should use too, because it helps you without wasting time create payload and into an application and all that. So let's just give a try to that a little bit. So what I type is MSF Venom. As you can see, I have actually done something before. So my machine actually saves stuff. So MSF Venom is your Metasploit framework. Venom itself is a combination of encoder and payload. So they actually combine them. Initially, they were separate before, but they actually combine them into Venom. So if you want to create a payload inside an application or inside you want to create a backdoor or an exploitation script inside a payload, this is what you use, and you type MSF Venom. You use the P sign to indicate it's a payload, Android, and all that. As you can see, we have Android, Metabrita, reverse. In the advanced session, I will explain all that to you. You understand how to hack an Android phone, create a malicious APK, and put it inside a legitimate one, and all that. So just know that MSF is a very, very important tool for you. So without wasting much time, I have to go on to the next aircraft engine. Though I don't really use this tool, but it is also a very great tool, and I have to show you what it means. Aircraft engine. So aircraft engine is basically a tool to help you crack Wi-Fi passwords. You understand, wirelessly, to help you hack wirelessly, and it can recover the web key once enough encrypted packets have been captured with air dump engine. I mean, so this part of aircraft engine suite determines what is a suite. It's a combination of other tools, you understand. But now it says this part of aircraft engine suite determines the web key using two fundamental methods. The first method is via the PTW approach, that is this approach, first method. And the main advantage of this particular approach is that very few data packets are required to crack a web key, you understand. The second method it uses is the FM correct method, and it incorporates various statistical methods or various statistical attacks to discover the web key and uses these in combination with brute forcing. I explained to you what brute forcing is, where you run it through a word list and try to figure out which one of them is the correct one. So additionally, this program offers a dictionary method for determining the web key. I have mentioned dictionary method before. It is more like brute forcing through a word list. So for cracking WPA or WPA2 pre-shared keys, a word list, that is a file or stdin or an arrow lib ng has to be used. Please note this. To crack a Wi-Fi password, your hotspots, those things, a word list has to be used. You understand? So That is that for aircraft engine. You use it to hack your wireless network, people's Wi-Fi, your school's Wi-Fi, things like that. You hack and get into the network. That's what you use aircraft engine. Aircraft, I mean. So what we have next is Bob Suite. Please, are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have to cancel this and then create another terminal. So the next thing we have is Bob Suite. Bob Suite is oh jeez. Bob Suite, yeah. Bob Suite is a very, very, very nice tool actually, and I use it most of the times. Imagine, for instance, you want to buy some stuffs online, but then you want to change the price, and you don't have probably you want to buy something for $10, or you don't have the money to pay, and for instance, you want to buy actually pay $1 for that $10 stuff. Upsuite is a very, very, very interesting tool for you to use. It actually aids to edit requests. You understand? Upsuite is actually it will actually allow you to edit requests while sending them. So let me show you what I mean quickly. Now, if I go onto my browser and let me go onto Amazon.com. Please, I want you to note something. Can you see my cursor, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there is something that comes around a written stuff that comes around here. So immediately I press enter, you please look at this direction and you see some written stuffs that um, here. Okay, hold on. I don't know how to get this off. Let me get this off. This is not supposed to show. Um, oh, jeez, this is actually covering what I want you to see. Oh, jeez, this is actually covering what I want you to see. Yeah. So yeah, can you see what is below? Oh, yes.
Yes, sir. We had seen it.
Okay, I think I'm having a pop-up. Please hold on a bit. Hold on a bit. Yeah, it's gone. So can you see the stuff below the HTTP dot Amazon and all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a request to the specified location for this particular product. So if I go onto this red gamepad over here, the request changes. You understand? The requests keep changing. Now,
Yes, sir.
for instance, I want to actually edit this request. It is very. I want to type something now. Please keep your eyes on this request, the HTTPS dot w Amazon and all that. Keep your eyes on that. When I click this gamepad, you can see it changes, and it changes very fast. So I will click it now. Can you see something like processing request, waiting for media dot Amazon and all that?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
All right. This is something you will be able to edit with Bob Suite. We'll go on to that now. Just hold on a bit. Where is my Bob Suite? Okay. Close. I don't want to update. So use startup upsuite. I want you to see that. So upsuite actually helps you or permits or allows you to edit that particular stuff there. And that is aside from other functionalities, other features of upsuite. It allows you to do quite a lot. But personally, what I use it for is to edit that. When I open something in the browser, we will actually get to this in the paid session. Probably I want to edit a particular request. I want to change the price for something. I want to do this or do that. I come to BobSuite to actually get that done. So without wasting much time, I have to read a description for you on BobSuite so we can move on to the next. So BobSuite. So there is supposed to be a description around here. What is PopSuite? Okay. Okay. All right, here we have it. It says Bob Suite is an integrated platform for performance security testing of web applications. You understand? Its various tools work seamlessly together to support the entire testing process. From initial mapping, we have that in Bob Suite, and analysis of an application's attack surface through to finding and exploiting security vulnerabilities. All that is actually packaged in Bob Suite. And what you have to do, what I suggest you do, is you get familiar with these tools by using them regularly. You understand? And you use them legally. So without wasting much time, I think I have given you enough introduction for Bob Suite. I will go on to the next right now, which is John the Ripper. Yesterday, I mentioned something about password attacks. I think you use John the Ripper for this. John the Ripper. We have to clear off this and go into our stuff and just search for John. John. Do I have it? Okay, what I have here is John. Supposed to be John the Ripper. Okay, hold on, let me type my password. And while you type your password in the Kali Linux shell, it doesn't reflect on the screen. Okay, this is quite advanced for you. This is just the uses. Okay, I think you have it here. So please note this: John the Ripper version 1.9.0. So in this version of Kali Linux I have, it's called John. It's just called John. The full name is John the Ripper. So without wasting much time, I have to go back to explain to you what this means. Clear? Let me see if there's a manual for it. All right. So John the Ripper is a tool to find weak passwords of your users. You see, this is a very important tool because then it aids or allows you to launch your password attacks perfectly. And the description for this is that this manual was written. And please hold on. Okay, I'm reading from here. John, better known as John the Ripper, is a tool to find weak passwords of users in a server. John can use a dictionary or some search pattern as well as a password file, which can be your word list, to check for passwords. John supports different cracking modes and understands many ciphertext formats, like several DES variants, MD5, and Blowfish. It can also be used to extract AFS and Windows NT passwords. You understand? So John the Ripper is a tool that is used for password attacks. So please note that. Without wasting much time, I have to go on to the next SQL map. I think I explained this yesterday. If you followed, for those persons who were not around, SQL map is a tool that helps you automatically inject SQL or structured query language parameters into forms and entry fields. Now, the description for this is actually given in a C format, ASCII format. But what it tells us here in the name is automatic structured query language injection tool. This helps you to, exploit database and return passwords and usernames. So that is what SQL map is used for, and also find parameters, vulnerable parameters in web servers. Yes, in the paid section, I will show you how to do all that. So without wasting much time, I have to go on to the next, which is Nicto. This helps you for your vulnerability analysis. Um, let me see if there is a manual for it. Okay, yeah, Nicto, it helps you scan web servers for known vulnerabilities. And please note, have you ever heard of zero-day vulnerability?
Yes, sir.
All right. But then you should know what it means. Those are vulnerabilities that have not been patched or that have not been discovered before, or vulnerabilities that are new. You understand? So, Nicto is a tool that examines a web server to find potential problems and security vulnerabilities, including server and software misconfigurations, default files and programs, insecure files and programs, outdated servers and programs. And Nicto is built on LibWhisker by the ROFP and can run on any platform which has a Perl environment. It supports SSL, that is secure socket layer, proxies, host authentication, IDS evasion, and more. It can be updated automatically from the command line and supports optional submission of updated version, data back, and all that. Please, I want you to note this. It supports, please go back up there. It supports SSL, proxy, host authentication, IDS evasion, and more. I will explain to you how to use this and what they mean. The SSL, secure socket layer, proxies, like I explained in this first or second class, host authentication, and all that. So without wasting much time, I have to move on to the next because of time. We have Mortego. This is a very, very, very interesting tool. As far as the FBI, the CIA is concerned, Mortego is a tool that is useful to everybody, including the elite hackers, because it is a very, very powerful tool and it helps you fingerprint, it helps you footprint, it helps you search for information for people, for blockchains, for numbers, for businesses, for crimes. It helps you do a lot, and I will show you that here. Mortego has to load. So without wasting much time, let us go into the description of Mortego. So clear man Mortego. Okay, this is it. It's loading. So yeah, this is Mortego. It helps you investigate entities. Yeah, this is what I want you to see. Uh, Mortego is in different versions, and you have to purchase keys to be able to activate them. You understand? So what I still have, because this is a free version, is the free Mortego software, the community edition. There is also the classic software. There is also the extra large software, and there is the Montego one. You understand? So it depends on how advanced the level of your corporation. So personally, sometimes I use the free one because it has all I need. It is quite easy and simple to use, and this is a graphic user interface. It lets you communicate and search for information about entities with graphics. So the community edition is actually limited to some features. The classic is actually limited also. The extra large is actually limited also to some things. But then, if you are using any of these paid stuff, I think it will be enough for a particular individual to perform whatever information gathering stuff you need. So the next thing we have to go on to, sorry, I have to tell you, Motego is for information gathering and footprinting and all that. So uh, let me see if there's a manual for it. There is no manual for it. So without wasting much time, I will have to move on to the next, which is EtherCap. So please, I have to show you that again. This is it, EtherCap. They also have one that is called BetaCap. But what we're using, what I am going to introduce right now is the EtherCap. So I have about 20 minutes left. So let me see if there is a manual for it. So see this, EtherCap is a multi-purpose sniffer or content filter for the man-in-the-middle attacks. I think I have introduced the man-in-the-middle attacks to you already. So I will go on to read the description. Now, EtherCap was born as a sniffer for switched LAN, but during the development process, it has gained more and more features that have changed it to a powerful and flexible tool for man-in-the-middle attacks. When you are sniffing, let me open this. When you are sniffing on a network, probably using Wireshark and things like that, it is basically man in the middle because you are actually in between the client side and the server side. So that is man in the middle attacks. And EtherCap is one that is going to help you or aid you to actually sniff on a network. You understand? So it supports active and passive dissection of many protocols and includes many features for network and host analysis, such as operating system fingerprint. This is it here. So it has two main sniffing options, the bridged and unified. Those are the options it has for sniffing. So in the paid section of this course, we will get to use this so you see them and you'll be able to use its features. And what we have next is the social engineering toolkit. Like I explained to you, I told you social engineering is basically exploitation of a particular system on the psychological level. That's what you have to look on the psychological level, exploitation of people and all that. So without wasting much time, I will go on to SET. It is called SET. So this is it. Okay, hold on. Let me go to the manual. If it has one, man SET. Oh, this is to set. Please, let me go on to this here. SET. Yes, this is it here. Look at it. It's the social engineering toolkit. So I have opened it and then my password. Yes, it is open. As you can see, you have a particular menu, and what it tells you is welcome to social engineering toolkit. This one-stop shop for all your social engineering needs. The social engineering toolkit is a product of the trusted sec. You understand? Now, this helps you to perform social engineering attacks. When I select option 1, it goes on to social engineering attacks. We also have the penetration testing, we have third parties modules, we have the option to update our social engineering toolkit and all that. So I choose number 1, the social engineering attacks. So we see what is there. Yes, what we have there is spear phishing. I think I have mentioned this to you already, yesterday or day before yesterday. Spear phishing attack vectors. We have website attack vectors. We have generator. To create a payload and a listener, they go together. We have the mass mailer attack. For instance, you want to send a large email to different persons for malicious purposes. You have the number 5 option, the mass mailer attack. We have the Arduino based attack. I have mentioned the Arduino to you uh, when I was explaining C language. Uh-huh. I mentioned the Arduino to you. It is a microcontroller unit. You also have the wireless access point. That's your WAP. We have QR generator attack vector. You can also send malicious QR codes to people to scan. We also have the PowerShell attack vectors. You should be used to this if you're familiar with Windows. PowerShell is okay. I will get to that in another session. Then also we have third-party modules. So that is that for SET. It allows you to do a lot. Those of you who have Kali Linux installed already, please you have to refer to this and use it yourself and make sure to use for educational purposes only. So moving on to the next, we have browser exploitation framework. Uh, I will cancel this and quickly go on to the next browser exploitation framework. Okay, I have to just search that. Yes, this is it. It's actually a system service. So let me see if I have a manual for it. Manual for browser exploitation framework. Okay, there is no manual for it. I think I have to go online and check what it means. Am I typing too fast? Um, okay, yeah. So browser exploitation framework. So let's see what it has to give to us. Basically, this actually helps you exploit browser sessions, and it permits or aids your session hijacking uh, processes. So I'm not downloading anything. Please hold on a little bit. I have to cancel this. Okay. Yes, this is it. So it is a
Sir, you
penetration
can wait for a
testing.
few minutes to share the attendance form.
All right. Please share the attendance soon. I think I will have to.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hold on. Let me stop presenting. All right, 2 minutes.
All the members can take screenshot and we will stop presenting it.
Sir, we can go now.
So please hold on a minute. Yeah, all right. I am back. So as I was explaining to you what the browser exploitation framework means,
So
you see,
can you
this is
just share
actually.
the screen?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I always forget. Is my screen visible, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like I was saying, the browser exploitation framework, it is a penetration testing tool that focuses on the web browser. You understand? Um, the reason it focuses on the web browser it's basically to help you exploit your browser sessions, your browser frameworks, and all that. Sometimes, most times, on the web application or the client side. So this actually helps you to hijack sessions. You understand? Probably, for instance, I don't think you have to dive into this part, but for instance, um, you know someone who is about completing a transaction online on the browser, and then while selecting the stocks to pay for and all that, uh, it gets to the point or it gets to the session where the person has to complete transactions, write in passwords, pins, and all that. This is a tool that basically helps you hijack a session. Probably you want to hijack the payment section. You understand? This is a tool that helps you or aids your session hijacking process. It is actually a very interesting tool, though I don't use it often. So I will go back to my machine to show you something. Okay, I think I have to go here. So it is actually a service. You start the service, and when you're done with the service, you stop it. So you are using okay password. Please start a new password for. Okay, I haven't actually opened this before in my stuff. Basically, there are different methods it uses, but what is available here is the cross-site scripting method that it uses for your browser exploitation or browser hacking. You understand? You know, like I said before, cross-site scripting is a method of hacking on the web application level. You understand? It is a type of attack, like I mentioned before yesterday. So, without wasting much time, I'll go on to the next, which is Nessus. Like I said, Nessus is a vulnerability scanner, a network scanner. Is a combination of different tools, and Nessus lets you search and discover vulnerabilities in your system, in a client system, in a network, in a different system. So, without wasting much time, I will go on to show you online. It has a community edition that is um, the free one. I think it is usually called Nessus Scanner. I have it installed, but it takes a lot of time to boot and load up. So hold on. It doesn't have a manual in my system. So Nessus vulnerability scanner. So my Chrome is misbehaving, and this is the reason why I prefer using Firefox. Okay, it's about loading. It is actually graphic user interface. Unlike Nikto, unlike Nikto number 8, unlike Nikto, Nezos actually does a better job than Nikto, because Nezos helps you interact with it on the graphic level. Nikto is a command line interface, so you need a deep knowledge of a Linux system to be able to use Nikto. Kind of, so it is actually very simple. So Nezos has explained online. It's found here. Here. So this is it. Nezos vulnerability scanner by Tenable. It's a nice tool. I have used it before. You should try using it. Like I said, it's a vulnerabilities scanner tool. So without wasting much time, I have to move on to the next. Since this is just an introduction to the tools, not actually using the tools. What we have next is Hydra. Hydra is a nice tool too. So let us go on to that, please. I think we have a few minutes left. So Hydra. So um, Hydra is a tool. So Hydra is a tool to guess or crack valid login or password pairs. So that is the description I am getting here. Let me open up a manual if I have one. Yes. So Hydra is a very fast network logon cracker which supports many different services. Hydra is a parallelized login cracker which supports numerous protocols to attack. New modules are easy to add. Besides that, it is flexible and very fast. So, okay, let me go on to this online and show you what I mean by Hydra. So, Hydra, so Hydra is typically utilized by penetration testers in combination with a program named Crunch. I think I have mentioned Crunch to you before. Crunch is actually a software that allows you to generate a word list, any kind of word list you want with any character,
Yes,
length,
sir.
and all that. So, which is used, okay, generate a word list. Hydra is a pre-installed tool in Kali Linux and it is used for brute forcing usernames and passwords for various services such as file transfer protocol, secure shell, telnet, and all that. So it's actually a very, very necessary tool if you want to perform password attacks. So that is that for Hydra. I have to move on to the next. The next is Kismet. I think we're coming to the end of today's class. Let me see if I have it in my machine. Okay, manual Kismet. So Kismet is basically a wireless sniffer and monitor. Nearly all of these options are runtime overrides for values in the Kismet configuration file. And permanent changes should be made. Okay, that's just for the description. So like it says here, it's basically a wireless sniffer and monitor. So the reason why some of these tools actually repeat the features of others is because, and I have to add them here, is because some of these tools have their own unique features and the way they interact with the target. Like taking for example, uh, what Nicto does, Nexus is able to do it, but then Nicto does it with the command line interface, and Nexus does it with the graphic user interface. You understand? And I think Nexus is quite larger than Nicto, so that is the reason why some tools actually repeat features. So moving on to Kismet, what we have here is Kismet is the wireless network and device detector, sniffer, word driving tool, and wireless intrusion detection framework. You know, Kismet works with Wi-Fi interfaces, Bluetooth interfaces, some software-defined radios, and hardware like RTLs, DR, and other specialized capture hardware. So it's actually a very, very, very great tool, and it helps you do anything as far as it concerns the wireless level. Kismet is a tool that helps you uh, get what you want or aid what you want. So we have the open verse, and after this will be done. Some open verse. So this is it here. I don't think I have it here. I don't think I do. So no, I do not have it here. Let me see. Uh, I do not use some of these tools because there are others I prefer that actually does the same thing. So now it says OpenVAS is a software framework for several services and tools offering vulnerability scanning, vulnerability management. You understand? All OpenVAS products are free softwares. Okay, that is that. So basically, this is also a vulnerability scanning tool. As you can see, vulnerability scanning or vulnerability analysis is a very, very important step when it comes to hacking and its methodologies because you have to identify your vulnerability, observe your vulnerability, monitor your vulnerability, and also have a defined profile of the vulnerability, its impact, its consequences, and the mode of exploitation you can actually use with that particular vulnerability. So it is very important, and OpenVAS is a tool to do that. Also, it is quite OpenVAS is somehow similar to Nessus. You understand? But personally, I prefer using Nessus because it has a lot of plugins and other features to add. So without wasting much time, I have to explain the tree quickly. I think we're out of time actually. So Hashcat, this tool is basically to help you hash unhashed passwords. Like I explained yesterday, for instance, you're hacking a database and you get passwords, you are able to uh, dump unhashed passwords into your system and probably through structured query language injection. It is going to be in the hashed format. Now, what you do is you need Hashcat to be able to crack these passwords. And over here, it says Hashcat is a password recovery tool. It has a proprietary code based on that. Okay. Examples of Hashcat supported hashing algorithms are LM hashes, MDA, MD5, the SHA family. I think we have SHA-25 and all that. That's SHA family, Unix script formats, as well as algorithms used in MySQL and Cisco PIX. I have mentioned some of these before. So Hashcat is a very, very important tool if you want to um, decrypt encrypted passwords, if you want to hash unhashed passwords. And over here, I think it's the CLI Hashcat. Okay, let me check if there is a manual for that. I'm sure there is a manual. Yes. So advanced CPU based password recovery utility. So Hashcat is the world's fastest CPU based password recovery tool. While it is not as fast as its GPU counterpart OCL Hashcat, large lists can be easily split in half with a good dictionary and a bit of knowledge of the command switches. You understand? It's a very, very nice tool, and please give it a try legally. Legally. So what we have next is the Mark Changer. Mark Changer is a very, very important tool. Those of you who actually do stuff like carding, who use people's credit cards to illegally buy things online and all that, Mark Changer, you should be familiar with Mark Changer because it helps you changes the MAC address of your system. You understand? So you don't get identified and all that. So the mark changer just basically helps you change the MAC address of your system. It is one of the files. It is one of the softwares you use for anonymity purposes. And lastly, we have Netcat. And after this, we are done for today's classes. Um, I have to go on to this quickly. Netcat. That is for Netcat. Let me see if I have it here. Okay, let me check for a manual for Netcat. After this, I am done with today's classes. So Netcat is a simple Unix utility which reads and writes data across network connections using TCP or UDP protocol. It is designed to be a reliable backend tool that can be used directly or easily driven by other programs and scripts. At the same time, it is a feature-rich network debugging and exploration tool since it can create almost any kind of connection you would need and has several interesting built-in capabilities. Netcat, as the usual program is named, should have been supplied long ago as another one of those cryptic but standard Unix tools. Basically, what Netcat does is to help you connect. You understand? So over on the internet, it says Netcard is a computer networking utility for reading from and writing to network connections using TCP or UDP. You understand? Please note this word. It is a computer networking utility. That is basically it helps you network computers. Probably I want to connect to your own system. I want to connect wirelessly to stuffs and all that over TCP, UDP, IP, and all that. What I use is Netcat. You understand? Probably I want to control a system, use a system remotely, or share the command line interface with a system. I could use Netcat. I could also use, I think, the remote desktop protocol. I think that is available on Windows. Yes. So I hope you have actually learned a lot, and this is what I have to offer for today's class. Um, the important tools that are available for hackers to use. So please, if there is any questions, I am ready to entertain.
No, sir. Today we didn't receive any question.
Okay, very well. So are we done with the classes, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bye.
It was an amazing session by you. Thank you, sir, for teaching us about ethical hacking. It will surely help every individual.
All right then. Bye.
Yes, thank you, sir.